We are kicking it in with NCR out here changing the game for the referees, increasing salaries for the referees. Y'all, I gotta say, this one was a big one that came out last week. And of course, we got to talk about it. Now, first of all, what is NCR? National Collegiate Rugby. It is the association that was best known for dealing with a lot of the smaller grouping of universities that were playing college rugby here in the U.S., but they have slowly expanded from their days of being what was formerly known as the National Small College Rugby Organization to now National College Rugby Organization, holding over 100 teams from all levels, Division 1, 2, and small college division as well. You could say 3, but sometimes it's not really 3, just population-wise. But they have been out here trying to change the game bit by bit. They are known for being the owners and current managers for the Collegiate Rugby Conference Championship, the Collegiate Rugby Championships for sevens. If you don't know, you know them with their men's and women's national championships. They always seem like they have another championship game in cycle. And that plays into what we're about to talk about today, because this past week, they announced that they are raising the prices for referee fees for national championship games. That's right. You heard it correctly. They're raising the prices. Prices used to be $150 for an event for each referee. And, you go. And honestly, whenever it's a ref, it's hard. It's hard, but, you do what you do because you love the game. NCR said, bet, I'm going to show you that $150, and I'm going to 10 times it. And they said, we're going $1,500 to be a ref for one of our national championships, for men's and women's national championships. $1,500. Now, the breakdown is a little bit more acute. So the breakdown is $1,500 for a Division 1 men's and women's national championship. It is $1,000 for a Division 1 2A championship, a $700 for Division 2, and $700 for small college. And I think the one that actually makes the biggest change on it is the AR position. So those are the guys that are holding the flags on the sideline. They are now getting paid $750, $500, and $350 per game, depending on the level that they play, which is massive. That is a massive shift. NCR has been really trying to make a push to separate themselves from the rest of the masses, which I think is really important. If you don't know, USA Rugby controversy, they in it in their own thing, which is, it's all about CRAA, College Rugby Association of America versus NCR, the split of college rugby. Obviously, the conspiracy, if you don't know, the controversy between NCR and USA Rugby in terms of membership dues and fee payouts and what is equitable, what is right. Each side has their side. It's not my argument to have, but this is one that we actually get a chance to talk about a little bit. But in this situation, NCR is really making a push to be progressive with it. Obviously, their biggest push was with the CRCs and purchasing them up after the passing of the previous owner, and being able to try and scale that up, starting in New Orleans, moving it out to Houston. And they're really trying to be progressive. Then it was them creating Friday night rugby, establishing Friday night rugby and trying to have a game every Friday night in the same way that you would have high school rugby, or you would have your Thursday night football, to be able to create a consistency of game for people to be able to watch. And of course, now we're talking about increasing the referees. And what makes these fees even more significant is that these fees are actually really close to the same pay that international refs are getting now. And had a chance to go look, because, I had to go research for you guys. I had a chance to go check out what some of the costs were for the referees in international levels. And actually, the rookie refs can actually be found being paid somewhere around $500 per game. And you can go as high as maybe even up to $1,700 per game. For professional refs, it starts at about $1,500 per game and can go as high as 2,800 per game. This is sourced from the Sun, so it's taken with the grain, not grain of salt. The Sun's reputable publication in Great Britain. So NCR paying $1,500 for your referees for a national championship event is pretty legit right there. That is legit and making competitive prices. The other significance is incentivizing more referees to be able to come in, trying to recruit more referees, because one of the hardest things that's happening right now is that there's just not enough referees per games. And if you guys have ever tried to put together a tournament, like, these are hard to get by. You still have to do your your classwork. You still have to get your licensing to be able to increase in your level for your referees. And of course, that becomes more and more difficult. And a lot of people don't want to be refs because you're seeing referee abuse. I don't know if it's necessarily increasing. I feel like it's just being reported better, because I feel like referee abuse has been pretty common, even from an international level or whether from a local grassroots level, even in the country. But it's hard to find people who want to be refs. It's hard to be able to get people who are being told to stop playing, because after a certain level, you can't actually play matrix games of any sort as a ref. So getting that combination has been a challenge, but this is a way to be able to incentivize not just more, but higher level, and also incentivizes them to want to continue to increase their levels of pay. Now, is it sustainable over a period of time? That's to be determined. I think whenever you have membership dues, it makes it at least a certain amount of your revenue that will come in. So at least from that standpoint, you can, be able to cover it. But I think the hope is that as time goes on, you're increasing your attendance per game, so your event revenue increases. Obviously, they do a lot of their games. NCR does a lot of games through YouTube. Shout out to Ryan Ginty of Next Level Rugby, who produces the majority of those games for NCR. You can actually find his interview on our channel. I don't remember what number it is, but you can definitely check it out. It's one of the earlier ones. But they're actively trying to do things. So I give a lot of kudos to NCR for making this risky push to be able to make refereeing a lot more lucrative. I do worry it makes it difficult for other tournaments to some extent, especially when you want to put together a high level one. But at the same time, it puts the challenge to make sure that you can compensate your referees the right way, because these tournaments can be very, very difficult to put together and very difficult to fund. So wait for them to go do it. Like, I just want to know what your thoughts are on it. And of course, let you know, you guys can always engage with us. We live out here, baby. We live. So hit us in the comments if you got any thoughts or feelings on it. I'm here for it. But yeah, in the meantime, Leo, let's move on. I ain't convinced.